Hey guys,
Howdy.
what's up? Welcome back or to the Roomies Digest. My name's Christine.
I'm Monique.
And today we're doing our January wrap up.
Yeah.
What? Why was that funny?
I just hope I remember
All the books. Yeah.
all the thoughts I had.
Well, isn't that why you have your cute little notebook?
Yeah, to write in it. There's nothing written in it yet. But we don't want to bring that up because Jéla will murder me.
You haven't written anything yet?
No, Christine. I haven't written anything in my journal.
Guys, you brought it out. I thought you were going to reference it.
I thought you were going to take a little more time, so I had a pen in my hand.
I said when you were ready.
I know, but like, there's no need. There's no need. I am ready. You weren't supposed to mention the journal. The journal's not even near it.
Sorry, I just saw it. Let's get started. Bum, bum, da 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 da, bum, bum, da.
So we read a bunch of books.
A bunch of books.
I think some more than others.
Yeah.
Do you want to start off?
Sure. Yeah, I read 12 books. We'll go ahead and talk about the NetGalley books that I read for this past month. If you want to look at that NetGalley vlog, I'll give all of my full thoughts and ratings in that vlog right up here. But I did end up reading Pandora's Jar by Natalie Haynes and also The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. So yeah, had a really good NetGalley month, and also we have some vlog clips from when our friends were in town visiting us, so it was an overall fun vlog. So there's that one, and then also the other one that I want to mention is The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. This is a epic fantasy, sapphic fantasy, and that one I ended up reading for the Shelf Space live show. If you want to see my full thoughts for that, then you can go ahead and click this link. It will take you to the live show where Vish and I talk all about this book and give you guys some tea. So there we go, 3 books down.
Well, I only read a total of 5 books, I think, this month. I don't know if y'all remember, but I was trying this thing where I was going to read a lot of... My whole TBR is going to be green, and that didn't last long. Let me just give you all the colors I actually ended up reading. Pink. This kind of has some green in it. See, the thing is, I should have said green spines.
Okay, yeah.
Green spines is what I really meant.
Gotcha.
And I only meant a couple of those because y'all, I'm a mood reader, okay? And so, green spines was what happened.
Was the thing.
The first book I read this month was People We Meet on Vacation. I know what? Who is she?
Yeah, you completed something from last year. I'm very proud.
I did. And y'all, there's a mixed bag on this, but this is the definition of a slow burn. And so if you're not committed to it, don't commit to it, you know? Like, it's cute. It has its moments. It's cute. But it is a slow burn, y'all. It really takes a minute to get to any type of steam, and it's just a long time with them being best friends. And I was ranting to Christine about this, and I was like, okay, I know that these 2 people don't have any other friends, because if that was me, if I was their friend looking in, I would have been told them to go out multiple times. Their family members tried to hint at it, but they didn't have any peers. They didn't have anyone like, why are you guys going on vacation together? Like,
yeah.
You know, like, where are the friends like me, like Christine, like the other people reading this book? I know y'all were like that. Anyway, I gave it 3 stars because it was cute. Emily does have a way sometimes, but this was a kind of a miss for me. There's no beach read. You guys know I stand beach read.
What can be a beach read? What can be a beach read? I'll share one of my misses from last month. I ended up reading A Burning by Megha Majumdar, and this basically was such a disappointment, y'all. I ended up giving it a 1 star. 1 star. My first 1 star ever.
A 1 star?
Yeah, it was so not good. It was so not good. And I read it because it was like my orange book that I was trying to get off of my physical TBR, and I'm gonna be unhauling it immediately. Like, I literally
What's the premise
do not
again?
want to keep this book. So essentially there is a young woman who is coming from a really like bad like neighborhood, neck of the woods. She's poor, and for the first time ever she gets a cell phone, and she goes on Facebook and she posts kind of like anti-government stuff. And so the government comes in and takes her and throws her in jail. And so it's all about her trying to get a lawyer to represent her, and also flashing back to how she was as a young girl, and because they have like character witnesses, but it really just shows how corrupt everything is. It just wasn't a good time for me. I didn't enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy you didn't enjoy it. Okay.
Yeah, it just, I mean, like, I obviously don't want to tell you anything else that happens, but that's the thing. It's like she says this one little comment and then it gets misconstrued by like the media and the government, and then there's corruption and all this crazy stuff, and
1 star.
It's not a good time.
It's a really big deal. You've never given a book a 1 star.
I know.
Like 12 Days of Christmas, Christine. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it's because that one had a little bit of romance in it.
The magnitude.
I know. I found myself being bored this whole time, because it's like, you know what's going to happen halfway through, so why even continue?
Oh, it was depressing.
Why even continue? And then it ended exactly how I thought it was, and I was like, well, what was the point of this journey? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And maybe that's on me for having high expectations. That's on that. But yeah, that was a disappointment. I'm going to be unhauling that immediately.
Well.
But let's go to a better topic. I'll talk about one of my favorite reads from last month, okay? Always Only You by Chloe Leese. This is a romance following an autistic main character, also someone who lives with chronic pain because she's got arthritis, and she falls for the hockey guy. She is like the social media manager of the LA Kings, I think. Yeah, the LA Kings. And she's always kind of had this like little attraction to this one guy, but she's like very about her business. She does not want to mix work with pleasure, but then something happens. This other guy like ends up like bullying her essentially, and you know her man cannot stand that. So he comes in and they develop a relationship. And it's just so beautiful. This is the second book in the Bergman Brothers series. I know you guys have heard me talk about this. I bought all of them last month. Like, I am sold. I'm ready for the new one to come out. So I'm officially going to be starting from the beginning this month. But this book was just so good, and I loved seeing the relationship between these two characters, and also the Bergmans as a family. Like, I loved having that little inside look at all of them and kind of all their little quirks and like little things. And I'm excited to continue. So 5 stars, baby. 5 stars.
Nice. The book I gave 5 stars, which also fit my green TBR theme.
I like that.
Was One of the Good Ones by Micah and Maritza Malik. It had a lot of family drama, but it was a thriller. It was more thriller than contemporary. And it pretty much follows this one girl. She has like a social activist YouTube page, goes to a rally, ends up being arrested, and then she has died from the actions there. So it's just pretty much the whole family trying to, grieve her death. Also just unraveling a lot of
trauma and guilt and
trauma,
grief.
Unraveling that and just putting things together. Like why did it have to be her? Or why was she one of the good ones? It's also unpacking that phrase, one of the good ones, which was dealt with very good. Very good. I really recommend. Y'all really recommend. Pick this up.
It's a good time. A like thriller-esque that I read last month was Once There Were Wolves. I'm not going to give you guys my rating or anything on this because this will be included in the Book of the Month vlog, which will be out once 3 books are completed. I was planning on doing another book last month, but ended up DNFing it. You'll find out that tea in the vlog. Needless to say, this was a very good book, and I really loved it. It's basically about this woman who works with wolves and kind of like places them in different areas that need kind of like an ecological boost. So she like fully believes that if you put wolves in the area, the forests will be more green and like, everything will start thriving again. So it's all about that until one day when she's in Scotland on her new project, someone ends up being killed and everybody's blaming the wolves. And she's like, I know it was not them. So we got to figure out the mystery. And it was so good. I love it. It also deals with a lot of mental health because she's like lonely. She's like alone a lot. So she's trying to figure out like, am I cuckoo bananas or am I not? Am I like, you know, sure and positive of these wolves that I've raised from babies? You know what I mean? So anyway, it was a good time. I really, really liked it. Another 5-star read to go off of your 5-star was the Monstrous graphic novels. I started these last month and could not put them down. I got them from the library and they are just all such a good time. I've been wanting to read this for forever and finally got to pick them up. But basically Monstrous follows like this young woman who, after this war has happened, is trying to find out what happened to her mother because her mother was killed. She also has some kind of demons that she's dealing with, and it's basically, I don't want to say it's a revenge plot again, but that seems to be the trope that I like to read. So this is definitely graphic. I think it's classified as fantasy horror. There are some body gore images in this graphic novel series, so just be prepared for that if you're interested in this. It is adult content, but it was really freaking good, and I love the storyline. Like all of them. They have, the second one follows a pirate theme. I was like, okay, y'all didn't have to put the pirates in here, but here I am. And of course they have 2 sidekick characters that are just so much fun. It really gave off like Howl's Moving Castle, like Markle and the little dog, but obviously this is way more graphic and way more adult and way more dark. This is definitely dark. So, but I had a good time. I'm gonna be buying all of these, and like the artwork is just so good, y'all. I mean, there is body gore, which is a little disturbing, but other than that, it's just so good. Anyway, love it.
And then you guys, speaking of love, you know, I couldn't not read any romance books.
Obviously, favorite genre.
You know, starting off the year, no romances? No, never. First off, I read Temporary Roomie by, who was it by? Sarah Adams. I've never read anything by Sarah Adams. And y'all, let me just say, this was my first time.
Is this Kindle Unlimited or?
It was Kindle Unlimited. It was on Kindle Unlimited. And I read it despite it saying it was a closed door romance.
Okay.
And I didn't really read past, like I didn't really read too much of the description. It's pretty much she has to stay, like she has to move in with her friend's brother-in-law. But I missed the part where she's having a baby.
Oh.
She's pregnant. And I'm like, whoa.
Pregnancy trope.
But is that a pregnancy trope? Is that it? Well, anyway, if it is, that's my first time reading a book with pregnancy trope. Pretty much it follows this one girl. She's having a baby and she thinks she wants to do it all on her own. And she has a she hates her best friend's brother-in-law. Like she cannot stand him at all. And he is obviously he's an OBGYN.
Best friend's brother-in-law?
Her best friend's husband's brother. Her best friend is a girl.
Husband's brother. Okay. Her brother-in-law.
Her best friend's brother-in-law. Yeah, I was like, am I saying it wrong? He's an OBGYN, and you guys know how I am about
doctors
in the
architects,
book. Doctors.
Many
successful, career-driven fellas. He's like good-looking. I don't know how to explain it. Pretty much, it was cute. I recommend. It's no spice, really, like 0 spice. But there's tension. And that's what makes a fun time, the tension. Despite her having a baby. Good for them. Yeah.
Love that. The next book that I want to talk about is a fantasy romance, The Traitor Queen by Miss Danielle L. Jensen. I ended up rating this a 3.5 stars. This is the second book in the like Bridge Kingdom duology. I had a fun time, had a fine time. It wasn't like a mediocre time. It was a little bit more than mediocre, so we're going for a 3.5. It was just a continuation of the Bridge Kingdom book, but I did find it to be a little repetitive and like a little guessable. And I kind of just wanted to get to the next book because they mentioned these other 2 characters, and I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm not invested. I'm not as invested as I was in the first one. But we did end up reading this for Fantasy Series Book Club, and they ended up talking about it on Jess's channel. So if you guys are interested in that book talk for our book club, you can click the link up above.
Up next, we got sent Made in Manhattan from Valentine PR. They sent us an arc for this romance book. And y'all, I haven't read I Hate to Love in a long time. I was realizing when I was picking this up because I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I'm not sure. Pretty much this guy finds out that he is a heir to a billion-dollar company and has to go and like jump through all these hoops and get a makeover essentially with this girl. So Violet is the person who knows all about like what forks to use, what to wear, who to know, because she, you know, has been made in Manhattan and she's supposed to be making over this guy from Louisiana, and they are just pretty much a match made in heaven. They hate each other, y'all. They really hate each other until They don't, and it was really cute. It was literally a movie, and I recommend picking this up. I don't even know if I gave it 5 stars, but I think I did. Anyway, sorry, I just read the back or something. Anyway.
You forgot something?
No. She wrote a book, To Serve with Love, which is one of my favorite movies. And then it was like, it's like My Fair Lady, but reverse. And I was like, duh. It's literally My Fair Lady. How else can I describe it?
I love that we're having realizations here today.
Yeah.
Great. The next romance that I would like to talk about, y'all, I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it because y'all know me by this point. You know that I have an issue, I have a problem. So I'm back on my bull with the Barbarians, and I read book 11 last month, Barbarian's Hope by Miss Ruby Dixon. And let me tell y'all, I was not sold on this one, okay? Because it was a barbarian relationship, and I just wasn't into it. Like, I didn't care. I was like, this girl is a bee. She's never been nice to anybody, and I don't really want to know much about her. So, you know, whatever. I actually ended up listening to the audiobook because I had a really long commute for like work one day, and I got sucked in. I hate myself, but here I am. So I ended up giving it a 5 stars, obviously, but basically follows, I forget her name, but she's the barbarian woman that everybody loved until all the women got on the planet, and then she kind of got, you know, pushed to the side. So it's all about her kind of like reconnecting with her mate and dealing with grief because she actually ended up losing one of her babies, like her first child with her mate. And that is pretty much why she causes trouble in the tribe, like pretty much why she acts the way she does, because she's incredibly hurt and she's dealing with her grief. And y'all know I also love to read about grief. So this was like, oh, it was just like all the good things I really wanted, because she really hated this man. She was like, you left me when we lost our baby, grief. And then they had to talk it out, and I was like, yes, this is everything. So anyway, I'm back on my bowl of Barbarians. It was a really good time.
I'm glad you had a good time.
I did, yeah, I did. Highly recommend. You know how it goes.
Yes.
Sci-fi's fun.
We know.
Creme de la creme.
All right, and then my last book, well, the last book I'm talking about is To Love, Jasonthorne by Ella Mays. I picked it up essentially because it was a fake dating, and pretty much she has a crush on her older brother's best friend her whole life. And, you know, it's like unrequited, and she just loves him so much. Then one day, you know, something happens. He has to move to California, live there. He becomes a humongous celebrity. He's a movie star, action movie star now. He's like Brad Pitt, Timothée Chalamet. He's doing the thing. She happens to write a book that is now getting picked up that
he is gonna star in. What?
And she runs into him, and he's like, Little Olive? And I'm like, ugh. Every time he says Little Olive, because her name's Olive, it's just like, she's not a little kid anymore. But anyway, that's a rant.
A full-grown adult.
Yes.
My guy.
So they have a fake relationship because he has to pretty much rehab his reputation. He has a bad boy reputation, and he keeps getting caught doing things he shouldn't be doing. So they're like, we're not just gonna have a fake dating.
You're gonna actually date.
We're gonna be fake
married.
Yes. So
what?
Yeah. Okay. So that's why I read the book.
So how was it?
It was cute. It was cute. I think it was a fun time. You guys, if you like, you know, cheesy stuff, I say pick it up. I'm not gonna go too in depth, but
was it rated?
4. I mean, it rained one day.
So 4.
Yeah. It wasn't a 5, but it was 4.
It was a pretty good time.
Yep.
Pretty good time. And then the last book that I ended up reading last month was The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. When I say this book is so good, what? Okay, so it's a YA fantasy, and I kind of talked about it a little bit in the TBR, but essentially it follows these 4 siblings. One of them is like the Maharani of the kingdom, and then the other 3 have kind of been separated for different reasons. One of them is in prison, one of them is a thief, one of them is like a viceroy essentially, but he doesn't really want to be in the politics, so he's a little lackluster. And it's basically about them trying to find magic, because magic is depleted in the kingdom. This is a really unique magic system, and they've got to find it. They've got to find the ivory key to bring magic back. This book is so good. It follows all 4 of the POVs of the siblings, and I just really loved like the sibling centered kind of storyline. There's also a little bit of romance in here that I was like living for. I'm like, and then y'all, the plot twists. You know when sometimes there's a plot twist and you're like, man, I saw that coming 10,000 miles away, or like, man, that doesn't make no sense. Nobody believes that. Y'all, I had like thought of this one plot twist halfway through the book and I was like, that would be really interesting if that happened. Forgot about it. Then in like the last couple chapters, something happened and I was like, oh my God. I'm like literally sitting on the couch screaming about this book. Oh, it was so freaking good. Plot, yes, B. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, had such a good time. Like I said, YA fantasy, and I'm squealing for the little romance moments. I ended up rating it a 4.5 stars just because for it to be a full 5, like we would really need those characters to be fleshed out like boom, boom, boom. But the plot, it's really what got me. I was like, oh man, have I read a really good fantasy plot in a long time? I don't know if I have.
What's a long time? Because you were just going on about the other series you love. So
what other series?
The other series, the Bridge Kingdom.
I gave that one a 3.5.
Bridge Kingdom? Okay, I'm messing up then. What are the other series you be reading? You be reading a lot of them. But she be talking about a new series every 2 weeks. So that's why I'm like, what's a long time to you? Really, tell the viewers truly, what is a long time? Like you, what about the City of Brass? How long ago was that?
That was like last summer. Last May, I think. So definitely if you're into YA fantasies, into kind of like the sibling relationships, a little teeny bit of romance and like plot twists that are like boom, 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 like boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I just got slapped in the face. How could it happen? But it did. Okay, so anyway, had a good time. And I think this was low-key my favorite book of the month. So there you go. Anyway, I reviewed.
More than Always on You?
Yeah, because like there's something about a romance where like I know what's gonna happen, so like it can be a 5-star romance, but like this one truly took me by surprise, and if that happens, ooh, especially in a fantasy, oh, I just love the magic system too. Anyway, I'm done ranting. Please pick it up, please. Yeah.
And with that is our January wrap up. We read a few things, you know. Let us know what you read down below, you know, by commenting your thoughts and stuff. And if you like this video,
give it a like for us.
And if you like us, subscribe to us and hit the notification bell so you know when we're dropping more things. And I think that is it. Until next time, bye.